administration. And he has an opportunity to outline the state of the country and what he thinks should be done, and perhaps to give his program for next year, this year. And so I was very pleased to listen to it. Unfortunately, we don't get a copy of his speech ahead of time. We don't even have a copy when he's speaking. So we normally do. I know in the past we've been able to have it, but we didn't. But from listening to his speech, I obviously had some very positive reaction, and I also had some negative reaction. And I thought I would share with that just briefly here. And thank you so much for listening and being with us here. This is our first time to video stream across our congressional website. So I hope you'll have an opportunity to listen to me in the future, and we can use this as a sort of way to communicate with you. One of the things I thought was positive, he talked about doing away with capital gains for small businesses. I think a lot of us were quite surprised because generally the president in this case has indicated he is in favor of higher taxes, so I was very surprised on that. He's also made a really strong case, I thought, for helping small businesses by helping with their unemployment insurance as well as providing loans to them. He talked about $30 billion in loans for them. So I think that all goes to creating jobs, which is the most important aspect of trying to get this economy going again. Also, I think it's positive that he mentioned in an energy bill that we include nuclear. Nuclear is safe and clean. You know, all of our submarines have nuclear power plants as well as our aircraft carriers. France has 80%, almost 85% of its energy is developed from nuclear. So I was very pleased to see the president accept the idea that clean energy comes from nuclear. On the downside, the president talked about a 3-year freeze starting in 2011. Now, this freeze only applies to about 12% of the budget. It does not include the Department of Defense. It does not include the veterans, Homeland Security, foreign affairs, or foreign aid. So obviously it doesn't include any of the entitlements, which is Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security. So he's taken a very narrow strip of the budget, and he's going to freeze it for 3 years. This will amount to a very small amount of money, which, considering all the other programs he talked about, he's going to spend. But the good side is it's significant. It's a step forward. I think the president should really freeze the federal budget at a cost of living. That would be a much better approach than just what he's doing with this very small 12% of the budget. So from that respect, I think the president is not giving a clear picture of what he's doing, to the sense that giving confidence to the markets by only attacking with a freeze only 12% of the budget. Let me just conclude a little bit observation about his delivery, which was very good, I thought, and also talk about his, I thought, a little bit defensive at times about his lack of accomplishments for this year. He made jokes about the political winds that have changed with Scott Brown being elected in Massachusetts, a new senator to replace Ted Kennedy. And I thought his sense of humor on this and other ways was very appropriate. And I think it shows his goodwill and his understanding that the political climate has changed for him, and that some of his programs are going to have to change. But I think he might have been more defensive than he had to be. Because in the end, Pelosi and Reid, the leaders in the Senate and the House, pretty much established agenda, and a lot of his, the failures are because they haven't been successful too. I would just conclude by saying that the closing of his speech was excellent. Excellent in the sense he's trying to bring Americans to the understanding that we all must work together. We have a higher purpose of being decent Americans to try and create both an economic climate and a culture that is successful in the trend and in the instincts of American life. So I think his ending was good. It was on a positive note. He is a positive individual. I think that was clear from his speech. So I think all in all, if you had an opportunity to listen to it, it was educational. And in certain ways I commend him. In certain ways I would say to him honestly that he's off base, and that I would recommend other ways. So let me conclude by thanking you, the listener, for taking your time to listen. And we hope we can continue to do this. God bless and take care.